In this NUAGE video, we're going to talk about channel view memory. We've talked about a lot of different ways to organize the fader unit and change the channels that you see on the fader unit using channel agents, using the channel view filters, the type filters, all sorts of different ways. The touch slider, all this sort of stuff. Once you've configured the way you want to see the channels, you can store that as a channel view memory. Very easy to do, very quick to do. So let's say I have just the group channels, and I've taken the Foley tracks and expanded them. So now I have just the Foley tracks right here, and I want to save that as a view that I can come back to. So I can just take the channel view memory buttons right here, and I can press and hold one until it flashes. Now this view is stored in that memory. Now let's go back to all the channels with everything turned on except, well, let's just say audio groups and effects returns. Let's do it like that. And that's a view that I want to save. Now I can save that into number 2. So now if I press just once on the first channel view button, it's going to go back to my Foley view instantly. I go to the second one, I go back to the view without the outputs and the others and the inputs. So any way you can configure the fader unit, you can save that into one of these storage locations. Now there are only 4 buttons here, but there are actually 8 storage locations. And you can access the second 8 by using the Shift key here on the fader unit. So let's say I have just these 3 tracks. I just want to see these 3 tracks by themselves. I can save this view into, let's put it in the last one, number 8. So I'm going to press and hold Shift, which makes these channel view locations 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'll press the 4th one and store it there. I can go back to the first channel view and see just my Foley tracks. Then I can use the Shift key and press 4 and go to the 8th channel view and see just those 3 tracks. This is perhaps one of the most powerful features of the fader unit, in my opinion. It allows me to change the configuration of the mixer instantaneously to something that's very customized. So again, back to all the channels. Once I start locking channels to one side of the mixer or the other, and I can even take a bunch of channels and hide them out of the fader unit, and I get a certain mix or a certain configuration that I like, I can just simply store that very quickly into one of the memory locations. Now I've got the Foley setup, this setup. I can go to just the 3 channels, or I can go to that one I just set up where I had locked channels on either side. Now you can use this however you want, but with 8 memory locations, you can have a lot of different configurations at your fingertips that would just take all sorts of time to do manually. So once again, I think that that is one of the most powerful features of the fader unit, allowing me to mix freely and have the computer do the work for me of organizing the tracks and the channels that I see in front of me. So there you go. That is channel view memory. There are 8 memory locations, 4 buttons, and we access the next 4 by using the Shift button on the fader unit. We'll have more fader unit navigation tutorials coming up.